It was the first day of the new semester at Crestwood High, a place where popularity ruled and kindness was often mistaken for weakness. The bell had just rung, and students flooded the hallways like waves crashing into each other. Amid the noise, a quiet figure walked alone, her head slightly bowed, clutching her worn-out backpack close to her chest. Her name was Ava Carter, the new transfer student from another city. She wasn't dressed like the others. No designer jackets, no flashy sneakers, just a simple gray hoodie and faded jeans. Her silence, her calmness, and her mysterious eyes immediately made her a target. Students whispered as she passed, their curiosity quickly turning into mockery. But Ava didn't respond. She simply smiled softly and kept walking, unaware that this new beginning would soon test every ounce of strength she had inside. By lunchtime, rumors about the weird new girl had already spread. People said she used to study in a correctional school. Others said she was expelled for fighting. None of it was true, but no one cared about the truth in a place where gossip fed popularity. Ava sat alone at the corner table of the cafeteria, quietly eating her sandwich when three girls, Harper, Lana, and Zoe, the self-proclaimed queens of Crestwood, decided to approach. Harper, their leader, was the kind of girl who thrived on attention. She ruled the school with her cruel charm. She leaned over Ava's table, tapping her fingers impatiently. "You're sitting at our table," she said with a smirk. Ava looked up, her calm eyes meeting Harper's without fear. "I didn't see your name on it," she replied quietly. The cafeteria fell silent. No one ever talked back to Harper. For a moment, even she looked stunned. Then her smirk returned, colder this time. "Oh, you'll regret that, new girl," she hissed, before walking away, her friends giggling behind her. That night, Ava sat in her small rented room, staring at her mother's photo. "I promised you, Mom, no fights this time," she whispered. Her mother had passed away 6 months ago in a car accident, and since then Ava had moved from city to city with her father, who worked multiple jobs just to keep them afloat. She'd seen enough pain to know that sometimes silence was stronger than violence. But the next few days would push that belief to its breaking point. The next morning she walked into the gym for PE class. The students were laughing, talking, tossing basketballs around. Ava stood quietly near the bleachers waiting for instructions. Then Harper and her friends walked in, their eyes locking onto her like predators spotting prey. "Hey, new girl!" Zoe called out. "You ever play dodgeball?" Ava nodded slightly. "Perfect," Harper said, grabbing a ball and smirking. "Let's make it fun." What followed wasn't a game. It was humiliation disguised as play. Every ball thrown was aimed directly at her face, her body, her legs. They laughed every time she flinched, every time she stumbled. The coach, distracted with paperwork, didn't notice. When the whistle blew, Ava quietly picked up her things and left the court, bruises forming beneath her sleeves, but her silence remained unbroken. Later that afternoon, Harper decided it wasn't enough. She wanted a reaction. She wanted to break her. As Ava was walking down the hallway after class, Harper and her group cornered her near the lockers. "Still quiet, huh?" Harper mocked. "Maybe you need a lesson in respect." Before Ava could respond, Harper's knee shot forward, a cruel, sharp blow to Ava's stomach that made her gasp in pain and fall to her knees. Laughter echoed in the hallway as students watched, recording on their phones. "Ow, ow," the new girl's crying. Lana mocked. Ava's hair fell over her face, hiding her tears. But what no one saw was the storm forming in her eyes. Her hand reached for the floor, and as she slowly stood up, something inside her shifted. Her backpack fell, and her school ID slipped out. But when Harper picked it up and read it, her laughter froze. "Ava Carter, National Youth Martial Arts Champion," she read aloud, her smirk fading. Gasps rippled through the hallway. Ava straightened her back, her voice steady but filled with power. "I told myself I wouldn't fight again," she said quietly, her eyes locked on Harper's. "But you've crossed the line." What happened next stunned everyone. Harper swung her arm to shove Ava again, but before she could even touch her, Ava's hand moved like lightning. She grabbed Harper's wrist, twisted it gently but firmly, and with a single move, flipped her onto the floor. The crowd gasped. Lana rushed forward. Ava sidestepped and used her momentum to make her stumble into the lockers. Zoe froze, backing away in shock. Ava didn't throw a single punch. Every move was precise, controlled, defensive. When it was over, the hallway was silent except for the sound of Harper's labored breathing on the floor. Ava looked around, her eyes calm, and said, Respect isn't taken, it's earned. Remember that. She picked up her backpack and walked away, leaving everyone stunned. That night, videos of the scene flooded social media. The caption read, "Eid Lugier Schol Bilma Intenscondis." The clip went viral within hours. Comments poured in, some cheering her courage, others shaming the bullies. But for Ava, it wasn't about fame or revenge. She sat by her window, looking out at the city lights, feeling both relief and sadness. She hadn't wanted to fight. She had wanted peace, but sometimes standing up for yourself wasn't violence. It was survival. The next day, the school was buzzing. Harper didn't show up. Lana and Zoe avoided eye contact. People who once laughed at Ava now whispered her name with respect. Some even apologized. The principal called her in, and after reviewing the security footage, he didn't suspend her. Instead, he commended her restraint. "You showed incredible discipline, Ava," he said. "Most students would have lost control." Ava simply nodded. She didn't feel proud, she felt human again. As she left the office, a younger student stopped her, a shy girl who had often been bullied herself. "Thank you," she whispered. "You showed me it's okay to stand up." Ava smiled gently and placed a hand on her shoulder. "Never let fear silence your worth," she said softly. That afternoon, as she walked out of school, the same crowd that once mocked her now watched in silent awe. The sunlight hit her face, and for the first time in a long while, she felt her mother's warmth again, like a quiet whisper telling her she'd done the right thing. And as the story spread, people didn't just remember the girl who fought back. They remembered the girl who stood tall, the girl who taught everyone that true strength isn't about hurting others, but about having the courage to protect your peace. And to be continued in Chapter 2A. Her secret past shocked the whole school, and what she did next made headlines.